Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanam Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Gurave Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadavaktaya Namo Namaha. Narayanam Gurum Vande Saranyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gaudamanubhishtam Purnam Radha Dasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Varyam Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Twiste Namaha. Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismerahasar Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshavasya Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramu Ramo Ramo Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradatama Shri Guru Pada Padma Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Sata Shri Madhu Shila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Shila Gurudeva, and to my most worshipable Shikshan Sannyasa Guru Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Parivrajaka Ashtotara Sata Shri Madhu Shila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupa Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, and to all the assembled devotees here today, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causes mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all the Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So continue reading from Sri Raya Ramananda Samvada, the chapter about Dasya Prema, the love of a servant for Krishna. Prabhu kohe aho hai age kohar, Rai kahe Dasya Prema sarva sadhya sar. Sriman Mahaprabhu said, "This is fine, but please speak something more." Sri Ramananda Rai replied, "Loving service in servitude, Dasya Prem, as exchanged by master and servant, is the essence of all perfection." So after describing Prema Bhakti, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, yes, this is also okay, but speak a little further from this point on. Then Ramananda Rai now is giving the Dasya Prema topic to be discussed. The bhakti of all devotees is not equal. There is a gradation. Jivera Swarupa Hoy Nitya Krishna Das. It is the living entity's constitutional position to be an eternal servant of Krishna. This Dasya Bhav also has gradations within it. If rain falls at the time of the Swati Nakshatra and falls upon an oyster, then that rain produces a pearl. If it falls on a banana plant, it produces camphor. And if it falls on the head of an elephant, it gives rise to Gajamukta, a pearl found in the projections of an elephant's forehead, and thus known as an elephant pearl. If that same rain falls upon the feet of a cow, it makes a yellow pigment called gorochana. And if it falls on bamboo, then vamshalochan, which is a milky colored substance, is formed in the hollow of the bamboo. Different transformations take place depending on the objects the rain falls upon. Similarly, if a variety of seeds, such as mango, neem, and tamarind, are planted in the same garden and watered with the same Ganges water, 3 different kinds of fruit-bearing trees will appear. In the same way, despite the fact that everyone is a servant of Shri Krishna, each person's eternal constitutional service mood is different. And because these service moods are variegated, the happiness derived from this service is also variegated. By performing service, worship and sadhana under the guidance of Sri Gurudev and Vaishnavas, the eternal constitutional position of the sadhaka, the Nitya Swarupa, manifests itself. So Gurudev is explaining very clear that the Swarupa will not be, what to say, it will not appear in the sense that it's not going to be created. We can put into quotation, created by the association. But whatever was there as an eternal seed in the heart of the devotee will come out because of the association. And this is the very subtle point that makes most of the people who advocate for the Swarupa of the Jiva not being eternal. It's because when Shastra says that it comes about due to association, the difference is that it's not being fabricated because of the association, but it's being stimulated because of the association. Without association, we cannot develop that. Without association, we cannot stimulate our Nitya Swarupa to manifest. But doesn't mean that we are actually not having this Swarupa before, and that came out of because of the association. We shouldn't think like that. Beforehand, Shuddha Tattva must be necessarily manifest in the heart. The essence, meaning of Dasya Bhava is as follows. Sri Bhagavan is the object of service. He is my master, Prabhu, and I am his servant, Dasa. The service propensity, Seva Vasana, that accompanies this mood of servitorship is called Dasya Prem. Service rendered to Bhagavan that is devoid of this Dasya Bhav and its accompanying feelings of possessiveness, Mamata, is called ordinary Prema Bhakti or Shanta Prem. It cannot establish a relationship with Bhagavan. So, here 2 things important to understand. He's talking about Dasya Prem in a general way. All the different 5 rasas are somehow or other Dasya. The gopis are servants, the mother is servant, the friends are servant, everyone is servant. So in a broad way, this Dasya word will apply to everyone. But in a specific way, this is also one type of rasa. Therefore, here Srila Gurudev is explaining that before Dasya, you have still Shanta. But why Shanta wasn't mentioned by Ramananda Rai? Why he's jumping directly to Dasya, not quoting Shanta? Because within Shanta, there is no relationship. And if there is no relationship, then it's already means away from the road or the steps that Ramananda Rai is making throughout the book. Okay? So Shantarasa means only contemplating. I contemplate the transcendental aspects of God. I meditate upon it. I glorify it. I fear it. I pray for its mercy. Things like that. So it has no relationship. There is no desire to render any type of service. Why? Because God is Almighty, is Atmaram, Aptakam, self-satisfied, self-sufficient. So why should I do something for him? He does not need anything. So this is the feelings of Shanta. Shanta means neutral. He does not feel that he can change the life of God somehow. He can give more happiness to God than God already has. So this is the feeling of Shanta Das, Shanta Prem. So then let's continue here. When one's feeling of possessiveness of the Lord gradually increases, this ordinary prema, Shanta Prema, transforms into the mood of a servant, Dasya Bhav. So then now he's saying, when Shanta Prem becomes more condensed and the feelings of possessiveness towards Krishna will increase, then it goes to Dasya Bhav. More complete feelings of servitorship are found within all Lord's associates who participate in his pastimes. This mood of servitude is present completely in the devotees in Dasyaras, more completely in the devotees in the mellow of friendship, Sakyaras, most completely in the devotees of parental mood, Vatsalyaras, and it's totally complete in the devotees in the amorous mellow, Madhurya Rasa. Here another important thing to note is that Prema Bhakti is already the top. There is nothing higher than that. But within that, which is highest, there are also gradations. So that are gradations within the perfection. Within the completeness, there is something which is more complete, than most complete, than totally complete. So just like in the manifestation of Krishna also, there are gradations, but still they are complete and perfect. Like Lord Narayan, then Ram, then Dwarkadish, then Brajendra Nandana Shyamasundar, they are all God. And God is always perfect, always complete. Still, within God, there is also gradation. There is also which is complete, more complete, most complete, and totally complete. This is a type of paradox. Our mind cannot conceive such things. Whatever is complete should always be complete, not lack anything. But still, it has some differences according to rasa. According to tattva, they're all the same. They're all Vishnu tattva. According to tattva, means the philosophical principle, Krishna, Narayan, Ram, they're all the same. And according to tattva, all these different rasas of service to Krishna, they're all the same. They're all dasya. But according to rasa, according to difference, then there will be a difference between Narayan, Ram, and Krishna, and all the other manifestations as well. Okay. In the Dasa Bhakti of the devotees of Braja, Mamata, excessive feelings of intimacy or possessiveness, are mixed with feelings of fraternity and parental affection for Shri Krishna. the various types of wonderment of prema, all of which consist of the desire to please Shri Krishna, present themselves through devotional service rendered in the mood of servitude, Dasya Prem. For the glorification of Dasya Prem, Shri Ramananda Rai quotes the following verse from Srimad Bhagavatam. Yang nama shruti matrena pumam bhavati nirmala tasya tirtha pada kim vadasanam avashishyate. Srimad Bhagavatam 9:5-16. It says, Sri Durvasa, the best of rishis, said to Ambarish Maharaj, simply by hearing the all auspicious names of Bhagavan, the jiva becomes pure. So for those who are the servants of the lotus feet of Tirthapada Bhagavan, that desirable object remains to be still attained. And then he quotes next one. This is called Stotra Ratna 43 by Sri Yamuna Acharya. Bhavantam mevanu charam nirantara prasantani shesha mano ratantaraha kadaham aikantika nitya kinkara praharshye shami nanata jivitam. O Lord, when will I become your eternal one-pointed servant, renouncing all desires apart from serving you, and always feeling joyful because of having such a glorious master? Sri Chakravarti Thakur explains that it is clear from both of these verses that there is nothing the servant of Bhagavan cannot attain. In both cases, the devotee's only prayer is for the feeling of eternal exclusive servitorship. Service to Shri Krishna is the only success of life. In Dasya Prema, the specialty of Prema Bhakti is concealed. This Dasya Rasa flows continuously in Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Dwaraka, Mathura, and Braj. Yet, throughout these holy abodes, Dasya Rasa exists in special types of gradation. The feelings of awe and reverence, Aishwarya, diminish as one progresses from Vaikuntha to Ayodhya, to Dwaraka, and finally to Braja. As one advances towards Braja, the feelings of reverence that are present in the devotees in the mood of servitorship of Vaikuntha are gradually concealed. Also, as one approaches Braja, the sweetness of Prema, as well as feelings of possessiveness for the Lord, increase. So here Gurudev is explaining how there are gradations within Dasya Prema. Dasya Prema in Vaikuntha is different than from Dwaraka, from Ayodhya, and also from Vrindavan. Okay? In his Sri Brihad Bhagavatamrita, Sri Sanatana Goswami says that the minds of the Dasya Bhaktas of Vrindavan are attracted only to the service of Brajendra Nandana Shri Krishna and nothing else. On the other hand, when the Dasya Bhaktas of Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Dwaraka, and Mathura see the service of the Dasya Bhaktas of Braja, their greed awakens for that. It is not that there is no opulence in Braj. Indeed, it exists in great profusion. Krishna is lifting Sri Govardhan for 7 days with one hand, killing demons such as Putana and Agasur, showing Mother Yashoda unlimited universes within his mouth. All these pastimes are full of opulence, but the Brajabasis considered such displays of majesty to be the power of Narayana, the influence of the illusory energy, or the spell of some witch. Sometimes the Brajabasis, they, especially the elder Gopas, they used to come to Nanda Maharaj and try to tell to Nanda Maharaj that, look, your son, perhaps he's not ordinary person. We are thinking that he must be God or some demigod. Because what he's doing, it's not possible for any human being to do. And Nanda Maharaj, what he says? Nanda Maharaj says, oh, no, stop saying all these things. I have seen this boy coming from the womb of Jashoda. I have seen this boy doing all kinds of nonsense, like stealing, lying, joking, playing, things that God will never do. So how is that he could be God? I can never believe these things. So in this way, Krishna is lifting Sri Govardhan for 7 days with one hand, killing demons such as Putana and Nagasur, showing Mother Yashoda unlimited universes within his mouth. All these pastimes are full of opulence, but the Brajavasis consider such displays of majesty to be the power of Narayan. For this reason, when Kanaya, a pet name of Shri Krishna, displayed the limited universes within his mouth, Mother Yashoda thought, some witch has attacked my son. In order to protect him, the controller of all, she bathed him in cow dung and cow urine, engaged the Brahmanas in chanting protective mantras and incarnations for him, and gave away charity on his behalf. In fact, in Dasya Bhav, one constantly ponders, what service can I do? Hence, in this present verse, the word Kinkara has been used for the devotees of Dasya Bhav. So Gurudev, he puts a footnote for Kinkara. He said the word Kinkara comes from Kim Karomi, meaning what may I do? What service can I do? So a Kinkaras, it means like a servant. Okay, I found. So it has already been mentioned that there is no Shuddha Dasya, feeling of pure and mixed servitorship in the Dasya devotees of Braja. Rather, their mood of Dasya is mixed feelings of friendship and of parental affection. Okay, so there is no pure Dasya in Vrindavan. Okay, it's always mixed with Vatsalya Prem or mixed with Sakya Prem. Okay. So another specialty of the Dasya Bhaktas of Braja is that, again, unlike the Dasya devotees of other places, there are no feelings of pure respect and reverence. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur reveals that devotees of Dasya Bhav, in the mood of awe and reverence, have a concept that offenses can be committed in their service. Therefore, for them, there is no deluge of prema. Deluge, I don't know what is the meaning. There is no deluge of prema. In Dasya Prema, service is not fully developed. The service of the Dasya Bhaktas, Jayan Vijayan Vaikuntha, composed of feelings of pure awe and reverence, is extraordinarily beautiful. But in those Bhaktas, we cannot see the mood of Vishramba Seva, means pure service performed with intimacy and devoid of feelings of awe and reverence. In order to fulfill the desire of their Lord, during the pastimes accomplished by Shri Krishna's creative internal potency, Yoga Maya, they accepted 3 birds in demonic species. By doing so, they gave their Lord an opportunity to taste Virarasa, or happiness obtained in fighting, and its completeness. In one form, they were providing him with a taste of the chivalrous mellow, Virarasa, and simultaneously, in another form, or Swarupa, they were engaged in their service in Vaikuntha. So, Jai and Vijay, they are the eternal gatekeepers of Vaikuntha. But they have entered even in Krishna Lila. They have entered even in Ram Lila. And they were displaying this demonic form to allow Krishna in his incarnations to experience a different type of rasa. This is called vir rasa, or the what to say, this wrestling mood. So in this way, they are performing different types of service. Almost all the devotees in Ayodhya are in Dasya Bhav. Amongst all of the servants there, Sri Hanuman is the topmost. Hanuman serves his Lord, Sri Ram, with his full life force. Because of his great thirst for service, he warmly welcomes any type of service to Sri Ram. Ram is present in every pore of his entire being, and his every breath contains Ram. Ram is his life and soul. When by trickery, Ahiravana, he adopted the younger brother of Ravana, took Sri Ram and Lakshmana to Patalaloka as a human sacrifice. Then and there, Hanuman killed him, and sitting Ram and Lakshmana upon his shoulders, he took them away from there. But he cannot serve the Lord like the Dasya Bhaktas of Braja. He cannot take his Lord on his lap, nor can he kiss him. So although Hanuman displays some type of intimacy towards Lord Rama, that intimacy cannot even be compared closely to the intimacy that Dasya Rasa in Braj have. It can be accepted that the Dasya Bhaktas of Dwaraka are superior to the Dasya Bhaktas of Ayodhya, but even within them, there is not so much as a scent of Sakya or friendship. Sriman Mahaprabhu, thinking that now Sri Ramananda Rai was approaching the desired Sakya, he said, now we are going for the next one, Sakya Prem, the love of a friend for Krishna. Prabhu kohe ho hai kichu agyar, Rai kahe Sakya Prema sarva sadhya sarv. Srimad Mahaprabhu said, this Dasya Prema is perfection. What you have said is correct, but please speak something beyond this. Sri Ramananda Rai replied, Sakya Prema, or Prema Bhakti infused with the feelings of fraternity, is the essence of all perfection. The devotee who in the profusion of Prema considers himself to be as good as Shri Krishna does not accept that Krishna is superior to him in any way. There is a saying, Killatamen ko kako gushayam, which means in play, who is the master of anyone? Such devotees are called the Sakas of Shri Krishna. The name of their favorable service mood to Shri Krishna is Sakya Prem. The fixed devotion or Nishta of Shanta Bhava, the service mood imbued with possessiveness, Mamata of Dasya Bhava, and the mood of service with intimacy, Vishramba Seva of Sakya Bhava are all present in this Sakya Prem. Now, just let us understand in a very easy way how to define these different 5 rasas. So first, this Shantaras, it means neutral, just contemplating. Dasya means the feeling that Krishna is my master and I am his servant. Sakya Prem, the feeling is like equality. Me and Krishna have the same level. So I can deal with him in an equal level. I can wrestle with him. I can share food with him in the same plate. I can, speak with him freely in the same level. Now, if you go Vatsalya Prem, then what happened? The feeling is that Krishna depends on me. So, if I don't nourish him, if I do not take care of him, if I do not educate him, he will not grow up, nicely. So this is the feeling of Vatsalya Prem, feeling of depending, means Krishna depending on the devotee. Hmm. Then we have Madhurya Ras. Hmm. In Madhurya Ras, the feeling is what? Complete freedom in the relationship. There is nothing which can cause any boundary or any obstacle or any type of limit to that relationship. The gopis, they can act with Krishna in such a way that there is no any type of um, obstruction, there is no any type of um, feeling of uh, that somehow or other Krishna is superior or inferior to them. No, that is complete. And at the same time, all the other feelings of the other four rasas are also included in that. Therefore, Madhurya Rasa is called Adi Rasa. Adi Rasa means the first rasa. It means it contains all the different moods inside of it. And as it goes, what to say, losing potency, then it goes to the next one, which is Vatsalya Prem. And then lose something, then go to Sakya. Then lose something, then go to Dasya. Like that. And then lose almost everything, then goes to Shanta. Okay, so this is the basic definition to understand these 5 types of relationships. Okay? When one compares these bhavas, it can be seen that even though there is so much sense of possessiveness in Dasya Prem, it still retains some Brahma Bhava, or feelings of respect. Shri Krishna is my master and I am his servant. All the friends in Vaikuntha, Ayodhya, Dwarka, and Mathura accept Shri Krishna and Sri Ram as Bhagavan. So now, what Srila Gurudev is saying, although the name can be the same, Sakya Prem, but it's not manifested in the same way in all the different realms and abodes of the Lord. However, in the Sakya Prem of Braja, the devotee maintains the feelings of great intimacy, Vishramba Bhava. So he feels Shri Krishna is a cowherd boy, just like me. He's not superior to me in any way. We are equal as cowherd boys and friends. In addition, whatever is done by the devotee in Sakya Prema will certainly please Shri Krishna. While eating, should the Sakas think that any foodstuff is especially tasty, they place their remnants into Shri Krishna's mouth, saying, Kanaya, just eat this pakora and see how tasty it is. They do not feel shy in feeding the remnants to him. The fear, hesitation, and respect of Dasya Bhav are not present in Sakya Prem. Only the feeling of equality, Samma Bhava, remains. Samma means equal, means same. Almost like the world is almost like the same. Sama and same. It's very same meaning and almost same thing written. So Sakya Prema is characterized by Vishramba, one-pointed affection full of loving trust, and includes feelings of possessiveness between Shri Krishna and his devotees. Even though Arjuna and the other sons of Pandu are eternal associates of the Lord, their affection for Shri Krishna in Sakya Bhava is full of awe and reverence for him. But in Braja, such friends as Subal and Madhumangal possess Sakyarati, which is composed of sweetness. Sriman Rai Ramananda here presents evidence from Srimad Bhagavatam. Itam satam brahma sukhanubhutya dasyam gatanam para devatena maya shritanam naradarakena sakam vijaruhu kritta punya punja. Bhagavatam 10, 12, 11. Sri Shukadeva Goswami said to Parikshit Maharaj, he who manifests himself to the Jnanis as the happiness of the Brahma effulgence, who manifests himself to the devotees of Dasarasa as a supremely worshipful Lord, and who appears to those under the spell of illusory Maya as an ordinary boy, that same Bhagavan Shri Krishna plays in Sakyaras with the four most fortunate cowherd boys of Braja, who are receiving the fruit of their profuse pious activities. There are three different types of sadhakas: jnanis, karmis, and bhaktas. According to their own particular devotional practices, they each realize Shri Krishna in different ways. The verse currently under consideration, which depicts the realization of these different sadhakas, glorifies above all the good fortune of the cowherd boys of Braja, in whom Sakya Bhava has arisen. So now Gurudev is going to discuss word by word, part by part of the verse. The first is Satam. The jnanis, taking the help of bhakti, worship Bhagavan by the process of jnana, or speculative knowledge. Without bhakti, it is impossible for the jnani sadhakas to gain knowledge. Thus, in order to achieve perfection in jnana, they take the shelter of bhakti. We should understand the word Satam here to indicate the followers of the path of jnana mixed with bhakti, means jnana mishra bhakti. The next one is Brahma Sukhanubhutya. Jnanis worship Nirvishesha Brahma, the impersonal Brahma effulgence, as the absolute truth, desiring Sayuja Mukti, or to merge into the impersonal Brahman effulgence of the Lord. Once they have achieved the perfection of this practice, they derive happiness from the perception or realization of this Nirvishesha Brahma, which is in fact the effulgence emanating from the bodily limbs of Shri Krishna. How is it possible for the jnanis to sport with this Nirvishesha Brahma? It means you cannot have relationship with this Supreme Brahma, with the light, with energy. What kind of relationship can you have with that? What kind of interaction can you have with that? It's not possible. So next one is Dasyam Gatam, which refers to devotees who worship Shri Krishna in Dasya Bhava, nurturing feelings of respect and seeing him as their most worshipful Lord. They worship Shri Krishna in the form of Paradevata, Ishta Devata, or Paramaradya Devata. Due to feelings of reverence for Shri Krishna, it is not possible for them to joke or play with him. Maya Shri Tanam. Jivas who are attracted to fruitive activities and bound by Maya only recognize Bhagavan, Shri Krishna, as an ordinary human child. This Maya means Yoga Maya. Such souls under the shelter of the illusory potency neither undertake the bhajan of Shri Krishna, nor do they love him. What to speak of loving? What to speak of playing with him? Such people are unable to have realization of him in any form. No, sorry, it's not Yoga Maya. Sorry, this is Mahamaya. Okay, ordinary Maya. And now next one is Kritta Punya Punja. Those who have collected huge amounts of pious activities, the cowherd boys of Braja, who have achieved Sakyaras, the mood of friendship. In his commentary on this verse, Srila Saraswati Prabhupada says that it describes the vast fortune of the sadhakas of Braja, who go to the forest to picnic with Shri Krishna, binding him with a robe of prema that is full of intimacy and devoid of reverence. These cowherd boys of Braj are said to have accumulated unlimited pious activities, or Kritta Punya Punja. The fruitive workers, karmis, the impersonalist philosophers, jnanis, and the mystics, yogis, can never eat and drink or play with Shri Krishna under any circumstances. Here the verse tells us that the Sakas are so fortunate that they sit on Shri Krishna's shoulders and also have him sit on their shoulders. So they're not afraid that they are committing any type of offense by doing that, because Krishna is not God. There is no such type of understanding that Krishna is God. From this point, Krishna is just like them, just their best friend. Next word is itam, sinking or immersed in prema. There are examples of this in Srimad Bhagavatam 10:12, 4:10, describing how Shri Krishna and the Sakas decorate each other with leaves and flowers, and how they steal each other's flutes and sticks. When for some reason Shri Krishna goes some distance away, the Sakas then run to catch him. They imitate the calls of bees and peacocks with their forest bugles and flutes, dance with the peacocks, and sit like cranes on the bank of the Yamuna. They contort their faces to resemble the cranes' mouths, jump like frogs, challenge their own shadows, and perform other mind-enchanting activities. The Sakas, completely devoid of reverence and full of intimacy, Vishramba Bhav, exclaim as they climb on Shri Krishna's shoulder, "To me, kon borolok, to me, ami sama." What kind of big man are you? You and I are equal. This is from Chaitanya Charitamrita Adi Lila 4:25. So in this way, okay, there is just a little more to go, just one more page. So let us continue here. And they also shout, "Oh, come on, Kanaya. What? Do you consider yourself a great person? You don't know anything. Your father only has 900,000 cows, while my father has 1,100,000 cows." Who is speaking that? To Krishna. Sridham. Because he's brother of Radharani, son of Vrishabhanu Maharaj. So Vrishabhanu Maharaj has this much of cows. If Krishna is sleeping and the cowherd boys arrive, they ask, "Oh mother, where is Kanaya? What is he doing?" Mother Yashoda replies, "Now he's sleeping. Do not wake him up." But before her reply is heard, all the boys jump onto his bed and awake him, saying, "Kanaya, are you still sleeping? The time for taking the cows out to graze is passing." Here is a sign of samabhava, or mood of equality, in the intimate friendship between Shri Krishna and his friends. There are Sakas in Dwaraka like Arjuna, and also others, but they can never act like this. As soon as Shri Krishna shows his Virat Swarupa to Arjuna, his universal form, he begins shaking in fear and joins his hands together in prayerful supplication. Likewise in Ayodhya, Sakas such as Sugriv, Vibhishana, Lakshman, Bharata, and Shatrughna are the friends and brothers of Shri Ram. Even though they are his brothers and Sakas, they can never act so intimately with him. Bharata, Lakshman, and Shatrughna cannot sit on the same seat as Shri Ram because of their feelings of reverence and respect for him. These emotions make it impossible for them to have the same feelings of complete equality and intimacy as the Sakas of Braja. In Braja there is friendship, love, possessiveness, and sweetness. Kande charai kore kridaran, Krishna seve Krishna karai apana sevan, Vishramba pradhana sakya gaurava sambramahina, Ataeva sakya rasiratina guna china, Mamata adhika Krishna atma samagyan, Ataeva sakya rasira vasya bhagavan. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 19, 223, 225. The devotee in Sakyaras sometimes offers Krishna service and sometimes he makes Krishna serve him. As they playfully fight, the Gopas sometimes climb on Krishna's shoulders and sometimes they have him climb on their shoulders. This Sakyarasa possesses three qualities: Vishramba Pradhana, or prominence of intimacy, Sakya, friendship, and Gaurava Sambhramahin, a lack of feelings of difference and reverential respect. Shri Krishna's Sakas, the cowherd boys of Braja, have not attained their position by the fruit of any punya or pious material activities, or by observing any sadhana. They are all eternally perfect associates of the Lord, Nitya Siddha Parikara, and they have been engaged eternally in the loving service of Shri Krishna. For tasting Sakyaras, Swayam Bhagavan Shri Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, has manifested himself as all the cowherd boys from time eternal. All the cowherd boys are personified forms of the Sandhini portion of the Swarupa Shakti. It means coming from Baladev Prabhu. To the ultimate degree that the tendency to serve is developed, then to that degree Shri Krishna, who is to be served as the object of service, Sevya Vastu, will also reveal himself. The service tendency of the eternal associates is fully developed in their Swatantriya Mai Seva, independent service. And by following Anugatya Mai Seva, service performed under their guidance, then our own service tendency unfolds correspondingly. So thus here ends the chapter about Sakya Prem. And we are going to continue next one in our next meeting. Hare Krishna.